Dennis Bock's debut novel, The Ash Garden, 2001, uses a non-linear narrative and multiple perspectives to delve into the lives of three individuals before, during, and after the atomic bombing of Hiroshima in 1945. On August 6, 1945, in Hiroshima, young Emiko is playing with her brother, Mitsuo, drawing a portrait of their grandfather in mud on his back when they spot a foreign plane high above the city. Emiko urges Mitsuo to return home with her, as they have been instructed to do whenever a foreign aircraft is seen, but he refuses. Moments later, the plane drops an atomic bomb, devastating most of the city. Emiko poetically describes the harrowing explosion that follows. Fast forward to 1995, when Anton Böll, a professor at Columbia University, gives a lecture about his involvement with Dr. Oppenheimer on the Manhattan Project, the secretive operation that developed the atomic bomb and led to the bombing of Hiroshima. After the lecture, Emiko approaches him with a request to participate in a documentary about the bombing. Initially hesitant, suspecting that Emiko may aim to portray him as a villain in an anti-nuclear film, Böll is reassured by her that she has no agenda. He returns home to his wife, Sophie, who is gravely ill, and shares the invitation with her. She encourages him to take part, prompting him to call Emiko and agree to the interview. He mentions having old films that might be of interest to her and arranges a meeting. Emiko then tells her story. Following the bombing, she loses her parents but survives along with her brother, both severely burned. In a tragic twist, the image of their grandfather is permanently etched onto Mitsuo's skin. Mitsuo dies soon after. An American man assists at the hospital, and Emiko is chosen to join a group of Japanese girls traveling to the United States for reconstructive surgery. She is shocked to discover the American media's fascination with the girls, resulting in multiple articles being published about them. Emiko even appears on the television show This Is Your Life, where she publicly expresses her gratitude to America for aiding her and the other children. Emiko grows up and receives her education in America, where she decides to pursue a career in filmmaking. Naturally, she becomes captivated by the Hiroshima bombing, which becomes the central theme of her work. When she plans to create a film about it, she reaches out to Dr. Böll for an interview. He invites her to his home, where Sophie, his wife, has stopped seeking treatment for her lupus and is slowly dying. As Böll reflects on his past, he remembers his life in Nazi Germany, where he was a successful scientist working on the Nazi program to develop an atomic bomb. Frustrated by the regime, he flees Germany, making his way to France and then to the United States, where he is recruited to join the Manhattan Project. Böll plays a role in creating the bomb, convinced that the attack on Hiroshima is necessary to end the war and ultimately save lives. After the bombing, he travels to Hiroshima, where he secretly films the aftermath, capturing the suffering and destruction in haunting footage. Despite his deep regret and self-blame, he remains steadfast in his belief that it was the right decision. Böll later meets Sophie in a refugee camp in Canada, falls in love with her and marries her. They settle in a small Canadian town where he becomes a professor at Columbia University. Sophie tells her story. A Jewish woman who fled Austria to escape the Nazis, she found herself in Canada where she met Böll. On the day the bomb was dropped on Hiroshima, she developed the characteristic rash of lupus. The disease debilitates her, but she continues to fight, taking on complex gardening projects each year. She feels Böll's intense guilt deeply and works tirelessly to help him cope with it, though she is also torn by the personal toll that peace exacted. Eventually, she becomes exhausted from battling her illness and decides to stop. After Sophie's death, Böll meets with Emiko and reveals the truth. He had known who she was and had been waiting for her to find him. He had been the American volunteer working in the hospital after the bombing, and he had met her as a child, burdened by regret for his role in bringing such devastation to Japan. He had made sure she was selected for treatment in the US, keeping track of her life, filming her at events, and helping her whenever he could. I hope you enjoyed this video. Leave a like if you did, and be sure to subscribe. Thank you.